What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Monday. So, y'all, this new article from Us Weekly has come out, and we are finding out that this divorce proceeding, I have a feeling it's going to get messy before it gets better because now Todd Tucker is demanding primary custody. And not only that, he's also questioning the prenuptial agreement that they signed, y'all know, like 10 seconds before they walked down the aisle. I feel like Todd never wanted to sign it. And I'm questioning, along with a lot of other people, was this all really a scheme? A scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the BS. The fact that Candy's auntie and her mom told her, Mama Joyce went to Phaedra's office and was upset that, Phaedra set Candy up from the very beginning. I just feel like when you're successful, or as successful as Candy is, because Candy wears her heart on her sleeve. She's very emotional, and she'll cry at the drop of a dime, of a hat. But I feel like between Todd, Phaedra, trying to smear her reputation with the lies from season 9, and just Todd now going after Candy's money. I'm like, it's giving very much what Britney Spears went through with her ex-husband, Kevin Federline, who now, because the kids have aged out of child support, he's writing this supposed tell-all book, and he's sending the kids to live with Britney. But, they kept her in that conservatorship. And speaking of conservatorships, Wendy's latest diagnosis has come out that there's nothing wrong with her, but yet and still, even after the doctors have found that out, she's still in a conservatorship. I'm like, women have not been working for that long. And I feel like because of that, it's financially successful women specifically, they're going to attract a lot of scammers and schemers and trifling men who don't want to work. Like I keep seeing these clips floating, on TikTok, where Todd is just basically telling Candy to her face, like, oh, you're, not Rihanna, so that's why I don't want to, have marital relations more than once a week, or, you know, when do you think that women lose their fineness, and I don't want you to have on a bonnet. Like, he was just really nitpicking her, to the point where I'm like, does he even like Candy? Like, he even had his own daughter, Kayla, struggling financially. And the more I learn about Todd, like, the more I really listen to the things that he will say to Candy. um it's just, it's very misogynistic. And it's unfortunate because I know that Candy, I feel like she really loved Todd. I don't feel like it was necessarily reciprocal. I feel like he was like, other people on that came on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, friends of Todd, or people who knew Todd in the past, told her that he's an opportunist, told her that, he's a social climber, clout chaser, whatever you want to call it. But he just always seemed very resentful, very bitter. And so now he's leveraging the kids in order to gain primary custody. And he's also saying that he signed the prenup under duress. Like, boy, bye. They gave you 1,000,001 chances not to sign it. But he knew that if he didn't get with Candy, and this is just my thoughts, that he wasn't going to pull anybody else that was a multimillionaire like that. Um, and so the best thing that he needed to do, um, for, his own safety and security, or, him being, I guess, opportunist, as so many other people have called him, he signed it. And so now, and they absolutely told him several times. They even asked him, which is on camera with Bravo, cameras catch everything on these reality TV shows. But they asked him, "Are you under duress?" And he said no. So for him to try to backpedal You know what I mean? 11 years later, like, sir, stop the BS. I have a feeling this is going to get a lot worse than it gets better. Well, let's get into this article. So, the Real Housewives of Atlanta alum Kandi Burruss and her estranged husband Todd Tucker is demanding primary custody of their two kids in the divorce proceedings. Um, on Wednesday, November 26th, Tucker filed a response to the divorce petition that the Burruss filed. He said their two children are currently in his care and residing with him in Georgia, while Burruss, who's 49, handles out-of-state work obligations. The exes share a son, Ace, who was born in 2016, and a daughter, Blaze, who was born in 2019. Tucker, who's 52, noted that Burruss's work obligations will continue to require her to be away from the children for at least the next several months, as he's pleaded for primary custody. His filing noted the parties have been working cooperatively in an effort to resolve all the issues, and Tucker remains committed to continuing those discussions in good faith. Tucker said that in the hopefully unlikely event that they are unable to reach a custody deal, he will be seeking primary physical custody, joint legal custody, and final decision-making authority. So because Kandi is, successful, she's booked and busy, he wants to snatch her kids away from her. Like, she's a mother first. You know what I mean? Like, Kandi has a type of money. I think her net worth is like over 30 million or something like that. She could easily hire, a nanny for the kids to keep around, 24/7. And that would be a lot cheaper, right? Than I'm sure what he's asking for. But for him to not even, try to seek joint custody, but he wants to make all the final decisions. He doesn't even have his daughter Kayla, her best interest at heart. And we saw that for years. You know what I mean? Like, Kandi treats Riley a lot better than Todd treated Kayla. And they even told him, if something were to happen to Kandi, the girls even said, that they didn't think that he would be willing to share any of, the money, or that he would have their best interest at heart. He seems like such a very, like, bitter, resentful, small little man, a schemer and a scam. And for him to try to snatch her kids away, like, to do that to a mother, like, he's trying to punish her for being a working mother. That's disgusting. Oh man, I really hope Kandi has a really good lawyer. He proposed that Burruss having substantial time and meaningful access to the children. Tucker's lawyer praised Burruss as a mother, noting Tucker wishes to make clear that he recognizes Burruss as a loving and capable parent, and remains sincerely hopeful that prior and continued discussions between the parties will bring full resolution. So if you know that she's a good mother, why would you try to snatch her kids away from her? That you would have full custody and she couldn't even make the decisions, because Kandi travels a lot. What if she wants the kids with her? Kandi girl, just get you a nanny and drop this loser, because he is truly a piece of work. Tucker admitted that he signed a prenuptial agreement before getting hitched on April 4, 2014, but suggested he was pressured into signing it without his lawyers around. However, Tucker's lawyers said that the agreement was presented to Tucker without Tucker having counsel, even though Burruss and her counsel communicated previously with Tucker's team regarding a potential prenuptial agreement. They gave him 50-11 chances. You know what I mean? He is just, I feel like this is his last, chance to try to get at Kandi's money, using the kids and then saying that he signed this under duress. Despite that knowledge, Burruss's counsel presented the final agreement to Tucker for signature immediately before the wedding ceremony, without any notice or consultation with Tucker's team, who had been significantly engaging in the negotiation process. Tucker's filing alleged these circumstances raised substantial questions concerning the enforceability of said document. Nevertheless, Tucker remains committed to working in good faith to resolve this matter amicably and privately to the extent possible. It doesn't sound amicable if you're trying to snatch her kids away from her. That's one. And then you're lying and saying you signed under duress. Did somebody have a pow pow to your head while you were signing this? No. You had the option to walk away. They asked you multiple times. He is a mess. Tucker's counterclaim for divorce also demanded a division of all marital assets, both real and personal, tangible and intangible, between the parties. And there it is, right? That's exactly what he wants. His counterclaim, he wants a division of all marital assets. So he wants half of everything that he did not work. Kenny's been working since she was with Escape in high school. Just my goodness gracious, Kandi girl, I don't know. And the fact that Kandi wrote no scrubs and she ended up with one is just, it's just breaking my heart, because what's going on? Like, Kandi, Todd is the scrub that you wrote about for TLC. And it's really not funny. Tucker demanded primary physical custody, joint custody. Okay, hold on. It refreshed, so I have to. Burruss announced their split to Tucker, 11 years, via a statement on November 21st. She said, after deep thought and a lot of prayer, I made the decision to move forward with the divorce. As she should, because this man does not really truly love her, I believe. I really don't think that he ever has, if you want to be honest. This is a difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains on protecting my peace, being the best mother I can be, and co-parenting with love and respect. Burruss added, I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth. I'm grateful to everyone who supported us throughout the years, and I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition with our family. In a separate interview, Burruss said that the split has been brewing for a while. So according to the documents, I think they were separated in July of this year. And so for her to only come out in November, you know what I mean? It's time. I feel like, like I said, those clips floating around on TikTok, he has been resentful of Kandi's success for a very long time. I'm sure he realized that he probably wasn't going to be able to, like I said, pull a multimillionaire as beautiful and as talented and as generous as Kandi. You know what I mean? Like, she even said while they were filming on the show that if they did break up, she wasn't going to just, have him out in the hood or whatever because of the kids, right? And so I don't know if that's when he started scheming and plotting then to try to leverage their children against her. That's a low blow, in my opinion. But you can never win when you play dirty, honey. So Todd, if you keep trying to scheme and scam and try to get Kandi's money, when you easily could have, turned your attention and focused and did the work to make those restaurants, profitable. Blaze and OLG, those were, Todd's ideas, but they were funded by Kandi. And I feel like if he would have, maybe taken some hospitality courses, hospitality management courses, or focused on the business that actually could have paid him instead of setting his sights on Kandi's money and, and her business endeavors. Because like I said, Kandi has so many businesses. She has, her YouTube channel. She has the plays on Broadway. She has, Bedroom Kandi. She's a songwriter, a singer, touring with Escape. And, she's out working and she's in New York right now. But it's like, for her to make sure that her kids are going to be okay, because you're not, she's doing what she needs to do. And instead of you taking the talents and gifts that you have been given and bring value to the market, you're instead trying to scheme and set up schemes and plots and plans and leverage her children to snatch her money away from her hard-earned money, might I add. Anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. This dude is a trip, but I'll keep you updated. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.